Alright, I think I'm gonna talk now. I am playing a really old game. And by old, I mean made during the 90s, which I'm sure none of you even know what the fuck I'm talking about. What are the 90s? You probably weren't even born then. Just kidding, bad jokes. Okay, the game is Journeyman Project 2. This is the second game called Buried in Time. Made in, or released in 1995. And, you know, as I talk, you guys can read the information there. You know, I can read it dramatically if you want. The menu at the right has a toggle button that allows you to choose between walkthrough and adventure play modes. In walkthrough mode, you will be given subtle guidance to help you along, and most of the puzzles have been either simplified or removed from the game entirely. This mode is suggested for novice adventure gamers or those who just want to experience the story of Buried in Time without the full-scale challenge. However, as several scenes have been omitted in walkthrough mode, you must play the game in adventure mode to experience it in its entirety. Remember to save your game often. It's best to name your game differently each time you save, just in case you need to return to an old save game. To experience Buried in Time to its fullest, turn down the lights, put on a pair of headphones, and prepare for total immersion. Well, this game's kind of outdated, so probably not going to feel too immersed. But I still think the level design, the puzzles, and the story itself clearly stand up, you know, to this day. Stand the test of time. Okay, there's really no options for this game. It goes over the interface here. I'm really not going to go over that. I'll probably do that in-game. We're doing adventure mode. We're not doing that shitty shit. We're going to play the intro. We're not going to skip it. It's very important. And, yeah. Okay. So you know he's on Caldoria, which is a floating city. Symbiotry is an organization of alien races. This is referring to the events in the first game, which I might do a playthrough of myself. That machine right there that you briefly saw is the Pegasus device. That's how you traveled back in time in the first game. And that guy was in the first game, and you stopped him. He was a wacko guy who decided that he was going to shoot peaceful aliens. Okay, that looked pretty weird. Alright. So this is a biosuit, and this is, well, you'll find out.
Quick, there's not much time to explain. They'll be here any second. Yes, I am you.
Yep.
I've come from the future.
Future me.
We've been framed. Now, whatever you try to do, do not interfere with what's about to happen. The suit I'm going to transfer over to you will keep you close, so just stand still and watch. When it's all over, you'll be pulled 10 years forward in the future to my present. From there out, it's all up to you. Oh, and I've hidden more information inside of you. You'll figure out what I mean. Here comes the jump.
Remember that. Had hid more information inside of me. Alright, so he just transported the suit onto me somehow. The amazing system. And here's the inside of the suit. First you see your reflection, and then the visual module starts up, and then you can see outside. And this guy shows up. Agent 8.
Come on, Gage. Let's go.
As you can tell, it says I was cloaked, so that guy didn't actually see me there. Which is good, because if he did, the game would have been over before it even started. Alright. You are in your home and somewhere up in Northern California, I guess. Yeah, I guess you can see some of the Rockies in the background. This is your HUD. This is your suit. Very small window. Probably the only drawback of this game. There really wasn't a giant window to see everything in. That was due to the limitations of the technology, I think, because they use live actors and so on and so forth. But yeah, let's go over the inventory here. Biochip blank, it's just a blank chip, and you can see when you click on the chip here, it opens up the biochip display. So you go on cloak, goes back to the cloak interface, and I can cloak myself. And when you activate cloak, you can't move, or else, well, it ruins the cloaking mechanism. Alright, evidence biochip. I have no evidence located right now. My job as being part of the deep time unit, as you see down here, is basically to go back in time and to collect evidence to make sure that no one's fucking up history, because when you fuck up history, you fuck up the present. Okay, biochip files. So this is good. Jumpsuit overview. Okay, the time displacement unit is a jumpsuit. It's a TSA, the Temporal Security Agent's mode of time travel. Alright, there's 10 jumpsuits in total, so I guess 10 agents. They've been coded specifically with the DNA of the agent, so it cannot be used by anyone but themselves, which is ingenious because it really helps out with future me going back in time and throwing on a suit on. Yeah, okay, you get the idea. See, unauthorized tampering will cause the suit to self-destruct. Yeah, okay. Doesn't provide much protection. It looks really strong, it's not. Okay, so that's why it has the cloaking technology. Alright, so yeah, it mentions how moving will destroy the illusion of invisibility, so that's why you can't move when you're cloaked. It has an oxygen rebreather and compressed air supply. And it refills once you're back in oxygen. Okay. Background. Should I read everything? Is this going to be a full playthrough? No, I don't think so. I tell you what, once I'm done playing through the game, I might go over all of the, little, files and so on and so forth. There's other stuff that I'm going to get into depth a lot, so don't worry about that. Interface. Interface is how I save. So let's save now. Okay. Let's just call it. Yeah, let's just call it Punkster. That'll work. Yeah, that works. Okay. So exit. And biochip jump. This is the most important chip because look. All right. This is how the game all works. Jump menu. Chichen Itza, Chateau Gaillard, Da Vinci Studio, and Farnstein Lab. Okay, so click on it, read the mission briefing. Alright, it says, sometime 1000 AD, they began to die out. So, before I fucked up and my future self had to go back in time, for whatever reason, his mission was to go to these places. So in this case, I was trying to find out why the Mayans died out. And Chateau Gaillard, I was trying to find out how Richard the First, what was it? Yeah, Richard the Lionheart, I guess you could say. Trying to figure out how he died. Let me read this again. Okay, yes. So in this case, we're trying to figure out why Chateau Gaillard fell so easily within 6 months. So that's why he went back there. Da Vinci Studios. There's a number of reasons why we would want to find out more information about Da Vinci. So let me read up on this again. So okay, this is when he was working for Duke Ludovico. Okay. Built. Okay, so basically you're just supposed to find many of Da Vinci's unknown projects, or projects that didn't really have much, that weren't finished or whatever. Farnstein Lab is the only jump mission location that takes place in fictional future, as you can see, 2247 AD. Basically, it's an asteroid miner that harvests for water and ores and so on and so forth. And the guy that lived on this lab was a genius and created what people credit him for the first intelligent life. Artificial intelligent life, sorry. And yeah, so you're supposed to go back in time to see if this artificial intelligence was actually alive. Because when in the future, or in the present of this game, they found traces of what they think could have been artificial intelligence on this station, but it was dead. So yeah, go back in time, see if it was, you know, living or whatever. Okay, so first off, harken back to when he said he's hid more information inside of me. So hey, look, it's me. Let's click on him. Ooh.
Since you're getting this message, I'm assuming everything went well. Now, before you do anything, you need to understand that the role of the TSA has changed in recent years. In addition to the security unit, there's now another team whose job it is to research history. That's the team I was on. That is, until someone altered history at 4 of my research mission locations. They weren't major changes, just enough to create temporal ripples. When another agent discovered the temporal ripples about a week ago, I was suspended and put on house arrest. Then they discovered some evidence, and by the next day I was already on trial. I had just about given up hope last night when it hit me. I'm being watched, but you can still prove that we're innocent. So I've decided to break house arrest and jump back in time to get your help. Right now I'm probably in jail. If they know where I am, they won't be looking for me. You'll be free to jump to any of my research mission locations to see what's going on. Now pay attention. This is important. Go to each of the 4 time zones and gather as many clues as you can find. Try and discover what's been changed and how. I've programmed the jumpsuit to auto-record any evidence you might find. Oh, and one more thing. I don't know if this has anything to do with what's going on, but I was at the TSA a couple weeks ago doing an unscheduled check of the security grid. I noticed something was wrong. It seems a couple of the feedback jumpers had gotten crossed. A good portion of the security grid was compromised for I don't know how long. Anyone with the right information could have gotten into or out of the TSA, the Pegasus warehouse, or any of the restricted areas without even being seen. I'm still not sure why I'm being set up, but I think this might have something to do with it. Be careful. Our life is on the line.
Yeah, maybe you couldn't tell. Maybe the resolution isn't as good enough for most people, but yeah, he was reading off cue cards. Oh man. But hey, how many video games had back in 1995 had actual, green screen motion shit? Alright, first off, these 3 guys were made by Elliot Sinclair, who was that creepy guy with the eye, like the Borg eye patch at the intro of the game. And he used these 3 robots to do his bidding, and I had to stop them. And they had really, really cool one-liners, so I'll just play them. I think this one is Poseidon. Yep. That brings me back. Fun fact, GOG, goodoldgames.com, might be doing a port or whatever you want to call it for modern PC for the game Pegasus Prime, which is a remake of Journeyman Project 1. They remade the game to have graphics similar to Journeyman Project 2 because the original game didn't look as good as this game, and that doesn't really seem like much to most people. Yeah. Okay, anyways, I've been expecting you. I think that's what this guy says. Out of my way, human, or die. That guy was actually on the Morimoto colony of the first game, and let me just click this guy really quick. Yeah, that's the guy at the science fair. Who shoots you with the dart? He's an asshole. Okay, so yeah, let's check out his place. It's got an ugly painting over there. It's got a better looking painting over there. You have this cool screen looking thing. And if you look down, it kind of dissolves. That was really cool when I was a kid. Alright, so you're gonna walk around here. Get the man seat in the back. Oh, whoops. Maybe I want to pick up the, yeah, whoops. I want to pick this thing up. Alright, this is a remote control, and it is the most worthless remote control. Why? Because the batteries are dead. I'm just going to tell you right now, there's literally no use for that thing whatsoever. Alright, now this is a cool little device. You'll find out in a second what it is. Environ. There's two buttons. We'll click the Environ one first. Ooh, pretty. So basically, it shoots an image around the entire screen. Makes you feel immersed in, I guess, African savanna. I don't know the name for that. Basically, some sort of rapids. Waterfall. Prettiness. And yeah, this feature harkens back to the first Journeyman project, where in that swanky little apartment in the beginning, they had another chair where you could basically use another older version of the environment system and project images on your walls and make you feel like you're somewhere better than some shitty floating city up in the sky. And there's a spot to put stuff here, but I don't have anything for that yet. That will come much, much later in the game. But let's click on this first. Watch some news. The Interactive News Network. Alright, so we'll watch the one regarding us breaking house arrest. Okay, alright, commercial.
The soon-to-be-released Geno, A Fond Remembrance, is Volume 4 of G-Tech's Rock Through the Ages collection. Never before has there been a video collection that captures the many moods of Geno Andrews. You'll hear the melancholy Geno.
So many songs about the rain.
The rebellious Geno.
When you selling yourself, sell the price to pay. When you're selling yourself,
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
the
is so
carefree
bad.
Geno.
it's been my dream to be a traveler of sorts, to visit all kinds.
And of course, the lovesick Geno.
A song for her is all she wants from me.
All of his chart-topping videos are here.
Geno Andrews is actually a
and completely
employee of the
stunning 4D sound.
Presto
In
Studios,
fact,
which
Geno,
made the
A Fond
game.
Remembrance is the most complete collection
So
of
he
Geno
got to
hits
whore
ever
himself
compiled
out
on one
and make
CD.
shitty
Call
pop
our
songs
toll-free
for the game.
ShopNet line now and
Alright,
receive a
ShopNet
free sample
code.
from the upcoming
That will-
EC that's bound to be an instant classic.
That-
Geno, A Fond Remembrance.
Alright, shut up now. Alright. So it's right down that code. See down here it says ShopNet order code. Alright.
The ongoing saga of Gage Blackwood took a frightening twist this morning when the agent of the Deep Time Unit broke house arrest to jump 9 years back in time. Fortunately, the illicit time jump was detected and he was immediately apprehended by Agent 8 of the Temporal Protectorate.
And you saw that.
Although it's still not clear how and why Blackwood obtained the TSA jumpsuit, Temporal Security Agency officials did say that no distortion ripples have yet been detected, and that there is no reason whatsoever to believe that Blackwood has altered history in any way. Our Lisa Long has a report from TSA Administrative Headquarters.
Alright, before I click here, he said no distortion ripples were detected as of yet. So, This is a big clue that you win the game, which is okay because in most games you're supposed to win. You jump 10 years forward in time, and no distortion ripples occurred. Alright, so naturally, if future self goes back in time and talks to past self, it's gonna cause some distortion ripples. So you already know at some point your mind is wiped or something. Yeah, you know, your brain's just thinking of the usual suspects when it comes to time travel and shit. So let's click next.
In a strange turn of events that can only be described as unimaginable, the highly decorated Gage Blackwood, better known as Agent 5 of the Deep Time Unit, has been arrested and put on trial for the crime of historical sabotage.
Historical sabotage.
We apologize for the lack of trial footage, but because of the sensitive nature of the material being presented, no recording equipment has been allowed into the tribunal wing of the United Ministry complex where the trial is being held.
United Ministry. Now it's the UM.
Drama unfolded 3 weeks ago when Agent 2 of the Temporal Protectorate discovered 4 distortion ripples while
Agent 2.
conducting an unscheduled historical scan. As it turned out, the dates of the ripples exactly coincided with times to which Agent 5 had been sent for research purposes.
Oh.
The agent immediately contacted his supervisors.
Could be
and on their
coincidence.
orders, 3 agents were sent to apprehend Agent 5, who offered no resistance. Later that day,
Could be
more
framed.
evidence was found in Blackwood's locker, suggesting that he
Oh,
had
evidence was
disobeyed
found
Temporal
in our
Security
locker.
Agency directives for personal
I'm
gain.
such a badass criminal. I left the
Unless
evidence
deemed
of my
absolutely
sabotage
necessary,
in my locker.
The TSA will not send agents to investigate or restore the distortions, as any further tampering with history may cause adverse effects, possibly even turning the ripples into full reality distortion waves.
Ooh. Yeah, we don't want waves. We just want ripples. Let's click next. Okay, okay, I can read this.
Prosecuting attorney Phil Stevens alleges that Agent 5 intentionally altered. The burden of proof lies on the prosecution. Witnesses for the prosecution have included Agent 2 of the Temporal Protectorate, the TSA's chief technician, and the designer of the circuitry for the jumpsuit.
Okay. Alright, let's go look at Agent 2. Oh wait, no. I guess I was wrong. It's not Agent 2. He's not important to the game, pretty much. Yeah, pause and read those. There's a lot of information in this thing. Oh, this guy lives in Tahiti. That's right. I thought I lived in Tahiti. Nope, him. Alright, pause. Read that. And pause again. And read that. Pause and read that. Pause and read that. Or actually, no, we'll talk about this. The 4 items that were in the locker. A gold ornament from Chichen Itza. A jeweled orb from Chateau Gaillard. A sketch from Leonardo da Vinci's studio. And a signed document from Kenneth Farnstein's lab. So those are the 4 objects I'm actually trying to locate when I jump back, or jump forward in one case, to find evidence to prove my innocence, because we all know I didn't sabotage sabotage history. Defense.
In the absence of an alibi or any evidence proving Agent 5's innocence.
See, only some of these are narrated. It's kind of weird.
Setting out to show, through the testimony of
So yeah, pause and read that.
it is not, the defense has not yet had the opportunity to present.
Pause and read that.
However, we have contacted both the chief
Alright.
With us now is William Doughton, the TSA Chief Technician. He joins us live from the Temporal Security Agency Administrative Headquarters. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Doughton.
Thank you, Mark.
You've known Gage Blackwood for many years, and I understand that the 2 of you are good friends. Do you think he's guilty?
Absolutely not. The thought that he could be guilty never even crossed my mind. I mean, friend or no, here you've got someone who's dedicated his whole life to protecting history and now stands accused of violating it. That's ridiculous.
Thank you,
And if
Will.
don't
Got my
believe
back.
me, look at his record. The man's a decorated hero. You can't overlook that fact just because it doesn't fit neatly into the story the prosecution's trying to sell.
And his face
Isn't
is
it
really
true you
animated.
testified that no one else made a time jump to any of the altered historical locations?
No, actually I testified the scanners didn't register anyone making a time jump to those locations. The computers are only as intelligent as their human programmers. Now, I believe it's possible that someone could have shadowed Agent 5's jumps. If a second time traveler were to make a jump within a few seconds of the first into the same location, the chronolog scanners probably wouldn't recognize it as a second jump.
Have you been able to test this theory?
No, not yet. It's too dangerous. If two people were to travel through the same null time tunnel and land in the exact same place, well, their matter would mix and that would kill them.
And you believe that someone found a way around this?
It's possible, yes.
Okay.
Very
well,
important to
thank
pay
you for your
attention to
insights,
that,
Mr. Doughton.
by the way. So, yes, someone is jumping either immediately before or after me, and obviously their matter didn't mix with me, and that's how they committed the crimes and framed my punk ass.
I have with me now Commissioner Jack Baldwin of the Temporal Security Agency.
Looks like he just
who's coming
woke
to
up.
us live from TSA Administrative Headquarters. Commissioner, thank you for joining us. Now, the first and most obvious question is, are you confident in your arrest of Gage Blackwood as the perpetrator of this crime?
We had to arrest Agent 5 because of the evidence, not because we think he did it. There was an obvious transgression. Someone was responsible for it, so we arrested the person to whom the evidence pointed. Now it's up to the courts to determine whether or not he's guilty.
So you believe he's innocent?
Absolutely. I've known Gage ever since he joined the TSA. In fact, I'm the one who recruited him. Gage Blackwood is a member of an endangered species. Gage Blackwood is a hero.
He's a maverick.
He's put his life on the line many times to prevent this exact thing from happening. There's absolutely no way he would have abused his position at the risk of a single life, let alone history as we know it. Now, it just doesn't make sense.
Mr. Blackwood has been an agent for quite a while now, 13 years, I believe. Is it possible that the temptation just became too great for him to bear?
No. Gage is as committed to his duty now as he was back when he apprehended Elliot Sinclair. He was, and he is, our finest agent.
Okay, let's assume for a minute that he did do it. Knowing that he would be facing life imprisonment on Vega Thalon, do you feel that he would plead guilty?
First of all, it's a moot point because he didn't do it. But, presuming he did, knowing Gage, I'd say he had a damn good reason. And he would have confessed immediately. He wouldn't have pretended innocence, not for 1 minute. Bottom line, Gage Blackwood is no criminal. Gage Blackwood is a hero.
Okay, Commissioner, it looks like we're out of time. Thank you.
I don't think I'm going to make you guys listen to any more of that. I think that's pretty much all you need to know for right now. So, yeah, that should be enough.